Today's recipe is going to be some green bell pepper chutney, which can be eaten with anything, usually Indian crepes, otherwise called dosa, or Urad, which is like a lentil pancake, anything that really suits you. So I've chopped up about 1.5 bell peppers, a little bit of, a teaspoon of tamarind over here, some sesame seeds, which I'm going to roast in the oil, along with a little piece of jaggery. If you don't have jaggery, you can always add a little sugar, give it extra kick. Some chana dal, some grated ginger, freshly grated ginger, as well as 2 red chilies, Calabria, a little onion, half an onion, and about 1 whole tomato. Then we're going to temper the spices at the end with some gingerly oil, which I have on the side. If you don't have gingerly oil, feel free to use olive oil, absolutely whatever you want. Some mustard seeds, some turmeric powder, red chilies, as well as some asafoetida, which is probably my favorite spice in the whole wide world. Okay, so the oil has heated up. We're just going to add the tablespoon of chana dal, otherwise known as, I think, Bengal gram dal, and we're going to let it just sizzle a little bit and cook before I add the sesame seeds. So it's starting to turn a mild to a beautiful, like golden brown. That's when we're going to start to add the sesame seeds. There we go. And let this come into a beautiful color before we add the rest of the ingredients. We'll add the ginger, as well as the chilies. Add as many chilies as you want. I wouldn't make it too spicy if you don't want it spicy, but this is what I tend to use for my family. Let it come mixed properly. And we will add the onions to this as well. Just gives a nice taste, sweetness to it that will come through because of the spiciness that I have going on. And in the end, this will all be blended, actually, in a blender properly. Yeah. Did the tomatoes as well. On very low to medium heat, you want to just keep stirring until the tomatoes kind of sweat, and salt it just a little bit, right? Rock salt. So I'm just going to add a little spoon of it now before the remainder. We'll sweat the onions a little bit more, and flavors burst, and tomatoes have more or less cooked. You don't need to cook it a lot, just until the water kind of evaporates, and add the bell pepper and let it just, just saute it for a couple of minutes. To this mixture, I added about 1/4 cup of water, just, so it softens up a little bit more, and we will salt it a little bit more at this point. And then we will allow it to cool down before we blend it. So rock salt is a little bit more saltier than regular salt, as most of you already know, so I'm gonna play it safe. So the green peppers have more or less softened. To this I'm gonna add the tamarind paste and make sure the whole thing just dissolves and just disappears in the water content that's there, and it's gonna add a lot of flavor to this chutney. So it's more or less cooked. Now what we're going to do is let this cool off before we blend it to a fine paste, but a thick paste, and then we will temper the remaining spices and add to it. Now we are going to temper the spices. So I've heated about half a tablespoon of gingerly oil. You can use olive as well. We are going to wait for the oil to heat up, and then we will add some mustard seeds. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of mustard seeds. See how it crackles so quickly. A little bit of urad dal, maybe half a teaspoon, with that as well. And some chilies, red chilies, dried. Wait for them to kind of change color, and then we'll add it to the chutney. So that's the color you're trying to achieve, that golden brown, and it's done. I added a pinch of asafoetida to this as well, just for extra flavor. Nothing wrong with that. So now we will add this to our chutney. Oh my God, I love the sound of that. There we go. Capsicum chutney is ready.